Whole CEO with Lisa G. I'm the best-selling author of The Boss Weight Loss. I'm bringing you the top tips to be unstoppable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually pull up a chair with today's top experts in weight loss, mindset, and business. Learn our top tips to set you up for success so that you can have more energy, be fit and resilient, and feel unstoppable. Hey everybody, I'd like to welcome Kevin Sorbo. Hey Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you here, and I want to talk with our audience about grit and resilience. Kevin received international stardom when he booked the lead role in Hercules and Legendary Journeys, and then talk about some of your other famous roles that you've done with Star Trek.
Well, I did Hercules for 7 years. I was down in New Zealand. I got to brag a little bit. 176 countries. We became the most watched TV show in the world. We passed Baywatch by season 3. And then I left the show at its top because I got an offer from Majel Roddenberry, Gene Roddenberry's widow, to do the first show he created after the original Star Trek series, and it's called Andromeda. He wrote it way back in 1969. So my captain, Dylan Hunt, was the first captain after Captain Kirk, and that was 5 years up in Vancouver, British Columbia. And we were the #1 show in first-run syndication for all 5 years as well. And then I've gone since then. I've done 61 movies. I just finished my 61st movie. I'm about to start movie number 62 up in Georgia. We start filming next month.
That is insanely awesome. I'm so excited to hear that.
I've been very fortunate.
All right, well, let's get into it. I just really picked you because since you were Hercules and you're just such a leader and such an example of fitness and grit. And I just want to talk about, have you ever had to come from failing forward with lessons, and has fitness helped you with any of that?
Well, I'll tell you, I think the greatest lesson I learned on failure was when I was a caddy, back when I was 18 and 19 years old during the summers there in Minnesota. I caddied at this private country club. And my dad was a school teacher. So my clothes, my hand-me-downs for my brothers, whatever money I could scrape to get my own. But I never felt without. My parents were awesome. But I asked these guys, I said, how did you become so successful? And I was, like I said, I was there for 2 summers, so I got to meet a lot of people out there, and they all said the same thing, which I found interesting. They all said I failed, and I failed again, and I failed again. But I didn't use it as a negative, I used it as a positive. And people forget about that. I think too many people fail and give up so quickly on their goals and their dreams because they might fail once or 100 times. Well, the reality is you got to keep pushing through it, and you got to use those failures as a positive because you can learn something good from each thing that happens to you in negative ways. So when I moved to LA, everybody's an actor in California. So you get out there and it's all about rejection in the industry of Hollywood. So you've got to get used to that, and you got to find a way to fight around that. So to me, the lesson I learned from those guys, and also from my mom and dad, about hard work paying off and don't expect handouts, go out there and work hard. And I've always had a very good work ethic, and I think that's paid off for me in so many ways.
Well, it's obvious that it has, but I picked you for this because I myself have had a lot of failures on the bumpy road to success as an entrepreneur and in fitness and everything. And I know that I have to fail forward and I have to keep going, and I love listening to other people's stories. So do you have anything for our audience about how they can reframe a quote unquote failure and take the lesson from it and move on?
Well, I think the biggest lesson to learn is don't let anyone set your limitations, especially yourself. I think too many people, as I said, they just give up. And FDR said it decades ago as president. He said the only thing to fear is fear itself. And you're going to hit, life doesn't promise to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. And my memories of all the crap I had to put up with in Hollywood to get to the point where I got Hercules and Andromeda and all these movies since then, what I loved the most was the hard work to get there. I appreciate the negative stuff that happened to me in Hollywood. I appreciate those steps I had to take to get to where I am today. And that's, it sounds so corny to follow your dreams, but you have to follow your dreams. I know so many people that don't like their lives, they don't like their jobs, they don't like their relationships. Well, then get out of those things. Get to a place, surround yourself with positive people. Get rid of all the negative things in your life. And if things go bad for you, stop blaming your husband or your wife or your boyfriend, your girlfriend or God or family. Look in the mirror. That's where it starts, you know? The old Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror. You know, you got to look in there and take it from there and work really hard to make your life better, and you can do it. Yeah, and people are just, we have such a lazy society now, you know, we're such a disposable society where people just take advantage and take, they just don't appreciate the things that are out there right now, and how amazing our society is. We live in such a negative world right now where everybody's looking to be offended. Everybody wants to be angry about something. And there's so much more out there for life. So if you don't like yourself, you don't like what's going on, then change yourself and quit blaming other people and attacking other people for your downfalls. And another thing is, go to the gym. People, we need working out. If you work out, you're going to find out your life's going to get better as well. And if you have, I tell people all the time, they say, you know, I have a hard time sleeping. Before you go to bed, get your butt off that couch, lay down in front of the TV on the carpet and stretch. Do some yoga. Do something that stretches your body, relaxes your body. Before you go to bed, trust me, you will sleep a lot better.
I love those points, and thank you for mentioning personal responsibility. I love that point. And for me, of all of the ups and downs and bumpy roads that I've had in my life, like fitness has been the one constant that has just been there for me. And I tend to be a little on the anxious side, so it calms me down.
Sure, it does. Here's the thing. I have the #1 after-school program in the state of California. We've been doing it for 22 years. It's called A World Fit for Kids. Go to worldfitforkids.org and check it out. For 20, LA Unified School District is one of the worst school districts in the country. I think Baltimore is the only one that's worse. LA has a 54% dropout rate over the last 22 years, on average, 54% dropping out at as low as 5th grade. The 12,000 kids I work with each year, on average, we work with 12,000 kids. We have an average of 98% graduation rate and a 67% higher GPA. What are we doing that the schools aren't doing? Because public schools across the country, not only are taking out history classes and art classes, they're taking out phys ed as well. Physical education is so important for everybody of all ages, but it's proven that after an hour of exercise, your attention levels and retention levels spike. And that's what we do with my program.
Do you guys work at all with nutrition too, or what do you think the
Oh yeah, no question, no question.
With crushing goals too?
Well, nutrition is very important, because I tell you right now, we all love sugar. I get it, but sugar is the enemy. It truly is.
100%.
I've recently, I did 3 months when I got rid of carbs and I got rid of sugar. And the two things I noticed most, well, not only a tightening of my body and losing fat, was I've had problems with my knees because, you know, I played sports all through high school and college, and then Hercules for 7 years doing all my own stunts because my ego said that I could do it. I've had knee surgeries done twice on both knees for meniscus tears. They're back again now for the 3rd time, plus an ACL tear in my right knee. Getting off all the sugar, the pain went away because it's an inflammatory. I have no pain in my knees right now.
Absolutely. Like, it's the precursor for all disease and inflammation. I agree. And I don't want to keep you too long.
And I like sugar too, but I get it.
I know how busy you are, but I just thought maybe I would touch upon mindset and see if you had any thoughts about mindset and being as successful as you've managed to be.
Well, I think the key is positive thinking. Too many people do negative thinking. Too many people say negative things about themselves. And I think when you do that, you put that out there. I think you've got to be kinder to yourself. And, you know, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Well, learn to love yourself first, and maybe that might happen. But I think you need to really find a place where you get rid of all the negative things out there. And once again, I know it sounds like some sort of psychological babble or something, but the truth is, if you sit there and call yourself a loser, you're going to be a loser. If you sit there and say negative things that you can't do something, then you probably won't be able to do it. Get a positive mindset, because to me, that's the most important thing.
I agree so much, having a positive growth mindset instead of a negative fixed mindset. And is there anything else you want to add about your tips for resilience and bouncing back and staying the course that you think can inspire our audience, since you are actually Hercules?
Well, I think I kind of already said it. I'm going to reiterate on that, but I really think getting out there, getting after, like you're in my old neighborhood there in Santa Monica, and Gold's Gym was my place to go. And as an actor, dealing with all that rejection and dealing with all that frustration, working out the gym helped me tremendously. And then once I was done with the workout, I'd hit the bike path. I'd either go biking all the way down to Hermosa Beach or rollerblade. And that time for me was my time. I loved, it was a time to think. It was a time to get rid of all stress. It was to get, the oceans there. There's no place like that in the world, that you have a bike path that goes for that many miles up and down a coastline. It's beautiful. And that was like a stress releaser for me. In a place that has so many cars, the worst traffic in the world. This time of year, when it's in school year, those bike paths during the daytime from like 8 o'clock until 4 o'clock, there's nobody out there, which is amazing to me. Get out there and enjoy it.
I'm so lucky to live here. And where can people find you, and what are your current projects that you're working on right now?
The best place to find me is kevinsorbo.net. So to go to kevinsorbo.net, there's all kinds of information on there. I've got 5 movies done in the can right now, and I got 3 documentaries done. The first movie coming out actually is very soon. It's called The Reliant, and we're just doing a Fathom event. Fathom events are very popular with independent movies, where they don't have a $100 million budget like a $300 million Avengers movie has to promote it. So it's going to be on 750 screens, October 24th. Go to thereliantmovie.com, get information of what screen is near you. It's an action movie, deals with the economic collapse of America. It's pretty intense. And then I got a kids movie coming out December 10th called Bernie the Dolphin. Check that out. That's a Lionsgate movie. And then my latest directing movie, which is in film festivals right now, is called Miracle in East Texas, and I'm in it along with John Ratzenberger and Lou Gossett Jr. and Tyler Mane. It's a great cast.
I love it.
2 conmen that would woo widows out of the money on fake oil wells, and it's a true story, but it's a comedy as well, and the people really enjoyed it. They love The Blind Side. If they like Green Book that was out there recently, they really like this movie. And then I've got a couple of documentaries coming out too, but I started a new movie called Ghetto Tears up in Georgia. It deals with the sex trafficking, which has become a big problem across America. So it's a pretty heavy drama.
I love it. That's such a great, worthy project. And on social media, where do people find you the best?
They can find me at Twitter. I do Twitter more popular. They can go to @KSorbs on Twitter, and they can find me that way. So it's KSORBS. Sorbs is what all my buddies call me. So instead of Sorbo, I went with Sorbs. So @KSorbs, they can find me on Twitter, and I do post quite a bit every day on that. And that's about it. I know I got Instagram and all. I got to start doing this stuff. My teenage kids bug me all the time, but just my life is so busy. I just hate complicating it more. I don't have that free time that all those teenagers have.
Don't do it. It's a big time step. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye. Thanks for joining me at WholeCEO with Lisa G. This episode is brought to you by Bosse Wine. Bosse Wine is certified biodynamically farmed so that it's more organic, and it's one of my favorites, this bottle by Bosse and John Legend Sparkling French Rosé. Join me in my wine society. Click on the website below to get a 20% discount when you become a member. bit.ly Lisa G Wine. That's bit.ly /Lisa G Wine.